Hi, it's Eva Longoria, and let's be real. After 40, we should ask for more from our skincare. I swear by Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer by L'Oreal Paris. With vitamin C, pro-retinol, and hyaluronic acid, it reduces my wrinkles, firms, and brightens. And it's not a procedure. It's just a hardworking moisturizer.
Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer by L'Oreal Paris. Grab it today in fragrance-free or with SPF 30. Available at your local Target.
Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you. Welcome back, folks, to another episode of It's About Payroll. This is another special. We have a guest, Tori Reyes.
Hi.
Hi, Tori. Tori's
Okay.
in the benefit game, and we're talking about payroll from the owner's perspective this season. Either you're starting off and you need this, or you're reevaluating after a mature company. Benefits is a big part of employees and a big piece of payroll. Tori's going to talk to us about benefits. So Tori, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I am a health insurance agent, of course. I work with U.S. Health Advisors, and we're actually a private insurance company. So we're outside of the Obamacare, Marketplace, ACA exchange, whatever it is that you may be familiar with what it's called. But we're under the umbrella of United Healthcare. So we're just able to offer their nationwide PPO network coverage
Got
to
it.
people who are self-employed or they own their own small business or even just individuals and families.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. So again, folks, if you're a small business owner, if you're a new business, one of the best things about having employees is trying to offer benefits. When it comes to offering benefits, it's competition. Like she said, she's with United Healthcare. There's many other offerings.
Oh.
So now, what are you seeing out there in the market that makes your services so valuable?
Really, since the pandemic and everything, the market for insurance has been really tough with so many people who have lost jobs or have lost their benefits along with that. A lot of people who then also have been resorting to their COBRA benefits coming off of
Yeah.
leaving an employer. We've been able to help those folks. With the marketplace, there are options that are there for those who are also unemployed. So you can get help from the government to help pay for your premium for that time being. But, utilize however you want. You just never know what you're going to get. It really just depends on your situation.
Got it. Got it. So is your primary focus just health insurance?
Yeah. So I do life insurance a little bit, but I do primarily focus on health insurance. So it just the medical and dental and vision added if needed.
So that's a great call out because I always wonder, like when I say health insurance, I only mean like the medical, but in the industry, is health insurance like inclusive of all three of those medical, vision, and dental?
Yes, quite typically there isn't dental coverage available individually through the marketplace. So you would typically see dental or vision added to the
Bundles.
medical plan.
Ah, that makes sense. All right. So now, what has been the biggest driver of your results?
Really just focusing on the need of the individual or family or owner for their employees. Of course, everyone's situation is different. I just really try to focus on what plan it is that's going to meet the needs of everyone. Of course, there are a lot of people that will hide different characteristics of coverages, therefore not being transparent and really at the end of the day, not putting their client or potential client, I should say, in a good position. So at the end of the day, I just really strive to be genuine and putting the best interest of my client at the forefront of my mind.
Have you ever wondered what really makes a generation tick? Who gets to pick the name? And why the slang keeps changing? Don't worry, I can help. My name's Dr. Megan Grace. On hashtag Gen Z, I share the voices and experiences of Generation Z, how they're different from other generations, what moves them, and why they do what they do. In each episode, we go beyond the buzzwords and the stereotypes to dive into real conversations and the insights that matter to making intergenerational collaboration a reality. You can catch hashtag Gen Z on the Work to Find podcast network and wherever you listen to podcasts.
How do you get in front of people like prospective business owners that are looking to add this benefit to their portfolio?
Yeah, so in a sales position, obviously, I do a lot of the typical sales things. So networking, meeting one to one with referral partners who also work with self-employed folks and small business owners to, of course, build that relationship. And
Right.
obviously, just letting them know what options there are, including my own, since we're outside of the marketplace. But sometimes I actually just utilize Google and search a certain city or area. And since I help people that are in the trades, like electricians, plumbers, HVAC companies, I are looking those types of people up through Google, just introducing myself, letting them know what I do, and then sending information to them. And that's it, just really spreading awareness and about how I can help, and they do with that what they want.
From the point of view of business owners, right, as your client, what do you say are their biggest challenges when it comes to picking the right provider for their employees?
So I would say that within the marketplace, there aren't that are associated with small businesses. So if you have less than 50 people, those small business owners aren't qualifying for the federal group rates.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're typically the quotes that are typically given to them are inflated, and that's just due to the marketplace quoting businesses based on how well the company may be doing financially, and then also quoting everyone at a flat rate based on the individual in the group who may potentially need the most medical attention, so like having pre-existing conditions and so on. So the main difference really between our quoting system and the marketplace is that we look at the age and the health of each individual.
This season is about helping business owners figure out whether they should have payroll or not, and whether they need to offer benefits or not, or if they're a veteran company that, they could reevaluate, take it back to market, as they say, when they're thinking of new plans. Now, does your service have a limit to the employees, or do you specialize and niche down in any group, or how does that work?
With the fact that we quote on an individual basis, really it's just considering the needs and the wants of the not only the business owner, but each individual as well.
Got it.
So yeah, as far as that goes, obviously we get a pretty general idea of what it is that the business owner is looking for. And then we have options. But of course, at the end of the day, it's all about leaving people or putting people, I should say, in the best position for their situation.
So now, if you could, Tori, comment along with us here. We found some helpful tips for business owners when either going to market or deciding to offer benefits to their employees. So the first one we have is research, of course, right? Go research different providers in your area and understand what's best for your employee set. The next one is budget. There are plans that the employer can subsidize the employee's out of pocket expense. So
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And that's probably more traditional plans and bigger over that 50 mark, right? Um,
Right. Hmm.
and that's what you got to think about as a business owner. How much can you afford to offset your employee, that cost to your employee? So you got to think about your budget. And then coverage. What did I hear? Research types of coverage a provider offers. Oh, of course, what you want to offer your employees, right? Because there's an array of things you can offer. I think, and more important is the health and like we said, medical, vision, dental. But then it goes on. There's life insurance products. There's an insurance product. There's all a slew of things that you can offer your employees. What is a very popular now is like mental wellness, things like
Hmm.
that. I've seen marketplaces. There are a ton of things. So you got to think about coverage or like offerings.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with his plight? Aha! Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at canva.com.
eligibility, of course, check eligibility requirements from your provider. So that's a great thing because if they're really big and they go for the wrong provider, it may not work. If you're really small and to your point, you go to a bigger provider, they don't have the numbers to really get good prices.
Right.
So that's important. And then negotiations, of course, you can negotiate. At the end of the day, this is a business transaction. Like I say, right, you got to call the experts when you're in this place of, okay, I'm either going to offer benefits and or payroll, or I'm going to outsource it, right? It's really good to
Mhm.
get on, build relationships with folks like Tori, get on LinkedIn, you start building your relationships. And I can't tell folks enough like how important it is to nurture your relationships, even when there's nothing to be had, right? There's nothing, I can't give you anything, you can't give me, but we can learn from each other, we can share information, we can build, we can be a community. And
Mhm.
often that's where I have my best relay. That's where I learn and that's where we grow. And often with my vendor relationships, they love me because I get it. Like I get their challenge. So I'm always very considerate and understanding in my vendor relationships, folks like you on the other side at United Healthcare that we work with day to day. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
Well,
of
Tori,
course, that well,
Tori, is it United Healthcare or is US Health Group, right?
So it's US Health Advisors,
US Health
and
Advisors got it.
yes, we're just the private sector of United Healthcare. So that's a little bit confusing for people just because as a company through US Health Advisors, we're not doing any marketing. There aren't commercials about our products out there and things like that. The company does really well at putting that money back towards us in our pockets as agents. So I'm super grateful for that. But yeah, you wouldn't really know about our company unless you ran into someone who's an agent like me.
Oh, okay. That's great. And that's big. I worked for a company, the same thing. They didn't have commercials. Huge company, but didn't have commercials, just really depended on other marketing channels. And it does work. It does work. That's really awesome. Now, for folks out there, again, this is about payroll. We're delivering this for the payroll minded business owner this season, trying to figure out what do they do, right? Do I offer this stuff for my employees? If you're a mature company, am I going to market to get better rates from my employees? And
Mhm.
again, you need a Tory in your corner to kind of, start that conversation with and figure out the best route for you and your company to get these, benefits and to figure this stuff out. So when you're out there, to our listeners, if you're like, oh, wait, are you selling United Health Advisors? No, not at all. Tori was gracious enough to come on and help us understand how this process works for the business owner, for the individual, even, right? If you don't have insurance, you might want to call her.
Yeah, I definitely feel like having health insurance is just one of those things that it's better to have than when you need it and not have it.
So these things are super important, not only to attract, but to retain
Yeah.
employees, because that is the HR buzzword in the past few
Yes.
right? It's retention, 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 because everybody is just going everywhere to work and do everything all at once.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, as a business owner, you definitely want to have benefits offered because again, you're not only wanting to keep those people that, have done you very well in the business, but also attract new talent. And then there's just also so many people that stay at jobs that they don't like because of the benefits that they're offered. And so I think that's huge.
One of the last things that we meant that are mentioned here in best practices for the business owners, one of my favorite things is documentation.
Yes,
So no matter what you do and all this decision making and all this vetting and all of this and offerings to your employees, make sure it's documented. Make sure you're keeping record. You have good comparisons amongst providers. Once you pick someone, you're documenting it properly. Documentation, one of the pillars of payroll. So it all ties back together, folks. And benefits is a hugely important piece of this puzzle. We thank you so much for joining us, Tori. Any
Yeah.
parting words of wisdom by you or Walter, please?
Yeah, so Tori, I'd like to know what advice would you give someone in your industry someone who's thinking about getting into your industry? what advice or sage wisdom would you give them?
Hi, I'm George LaRock, and I'm looking forward to exploring the critical trends shaping the future of work and technology with you over on the Work Tech podcast. Now, this podcast is a little different. I bring together industry leaders, innovators, and investors, and we go deep into market intelligence that matters to HR pros and tech providers alike. So give the Work Tech podcast a listen here on the Work Defined Podcast Network, and please subscribe if you like it. See you there.
So as far as someone looking to become a health insurance agent or wanting to provide benefits to their employees?
Both.
Okay. So obviously, as was mentioned earlier, do your research. I think that's huge. I luckily was just chosen by resume online to join this company. There are many companies out there. Just make sure that the mission of the company aligns with your beliefs. I know with our mission is HOPE, which stands for helping other people every day.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I used to be a teacher, and so
Oh,
that
that's amazing.
yeah, with that being said, I left that profession because I'm more or less chasing financial freedom and time freedom,
Mm.
and the health insurance industry is definitely going to provide that for me. And I, of course, wanted to then align myself with a company that aligns with my value and my outlook on life. So being able to help people, being able to educate people is definitely something I pride myself in and being with US. And then really just for small business owners, one of my favorite quotes that we have is friends don't let friends put their phone number, email online to have the attraction come to them. And of course, my job as an independent agent is attracting or getting the word out about the coverages and what we offer as a private company, and give me a call and don't put your phone number in online. And then I will do my best to make sure that everyone is in the best place possible for their situation, whatever that looks like.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. And is it okay if I post those details in the show minutes? Because
Sure.
we have details we can post in there, so I'll post that information as well.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all.
Great.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You're amazing to have you, Tori. Such a delight.
So floored to be here. I really appreciate the introduction and the invitation, I guess, to be on here.
Absolutely. It's no mistake. You mentioned you're a teacher. Walter and I currently are in education and have been in education the majority of our career.
Wow, awesome.
So it's amazing. We love that acronym HOPE. Walt made his brand on the show, giving folks grace, and he's that. So that it's very aligned with us in a few different ways. So it's
Wow,
no
that's
mistake. Yeah, we love it.
I
We'd love to
agree.
hear
That's
it
all.
for it. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being on the show today. It was amazing. Folks, we hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, if you want to learn more about what Tori does, you can go ahead and reach out. You want to learn more about payroll, we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of our podcast. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. And we hope that the information that was shared with you will impact you as a payroll professional. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.